Good Monday morning. I'm meteorologist Jeff Gerber. It's 11:30 for the next 10 minutes where we're going to be looking at the forecast as we go through this week. It looks like a pretty quiet forecast, a little bit cooler than we've been gotten used to over the last couple of weeks where we've been in the 70s. This week it's more like 50s and 60s, which is a little bit closer to normal for this time of year. So kind of back to winter type conditions. We'll see any precipitation this week. It looks like a pretty dry week as we'll see some cold mornings and some mild to cool afternoons. Let's check out the forecast for the rest of the day. We'll climb up into the upper 50s for this afternoon. We'll get up around 59, maybe a couple of 60s south of I-10, but most of the area will be in the upper 50s for today. Back down into the lower 50s as we head into the evening. As we head towards 10 o'clock, we're seeing temperatures drop off into the middle 40s, right around about 45 degrees as we head towards this evening. Expecting lows tonight once again into the upper 30s. Allergy report showing medium on tree out there, 0 on grass and weed, and mold is on the low side. Just not a lot to talk about on the allergy report now that we're in winter, but tree pollen I guess is a little bit of a thing today at medium, but generally these numbers stay pretty low this time of year. As we take a look at outside, we'll look at some of our new Roofing 911 live sky cams. This one right here from our 12 News studio, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam Network. This one brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing. And you can see just some high-level clouds out there for this morning going into this afternoon. So plenty of sunshine. That should warm us up into the upper 50s for later on today. But definitely cool weather out there. Looking pretty good as we look from our 12 News studio down towards the east. You can see the city skyline there off towards the center left of your screen there as the buildings in downtown Beaumont. All across the area, we're seeing just some mid to high level clouds, and looking up towards Jasper, you can see the same type of deal up there. This camera brought to you by Provalis as roads are fairly quiet as we head towards the lunch hour up in Jasper. Not much going on, it looks like, as far as traffic up in Jasper, unless you look down the road there. See that intersection, that is actually Highway 69 going through Jasper. So there are some, there is some traffic heading through Jasper there on 69, but overall it looks like it's pretty quiet out there. Not much going on up in the Jasper area for this morning. It's usually pretty quiet in Jasper, though there's really not a lot of traffic there. As we look down towards Port Arthur, look at the Intercoastal Waterway, and a few ships I've been seeing pass through there this morning. Looking at mostly sunny skies there as well. On our Roofing 911 Live Skycam Network. This camera brought to you by Market Basket as we look across Port Arthur, looking pretty quiet there as well. Waiting for the lunch hour, waiting to get out, maybe have a little lunch, enjoy a little bit of the sunshine. But don't forget the jacket as we're still looking at temperatures trying to climb out of the 40s and into the 50s. We'll probably be in the lower 50s as we hit noon and go into the early part of the afternoon. But still, lower 50s, I would say at least a lightweight jacket if you're heading out the door here over the next hour or so. And then we'll take a look over towards Orange, Horseman's Western Store. And once again, you see those high-level clouds kind of skirting through the area on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam Network. Currently showing 54 now in Orange, humidity at 44%. So humidity levels are down, and we're seeing east winds pretty light, 1, 2, 3 miles per hour. Not much of a wind out there to deal with. So that helps those cool temperatures. Right now, we're just got into the lower 50s. 20 minutes ago we were seeing some 40s out there, but now we've reached the lower 50s, right at 50 in Beaumont, 50 in Jasper, 50 in Kirbyville, Woodville, Silsbee at 53, 51 in Orange, and Port Arthur's at 52. Still showing 47 though over towards Conroe, 52 up in Huntsville, 52 in Houston, DeQuincy's at 49, and Lake Charles sitting right at about 50 degrees. There is some rain across the state. You can see just south of San Antonio, there's a batch of some heavier showers working their way up towards, it looks like maybe San Antonio for the next hour or two. A little upper level disturbance down in South Texas, creating a little bit of rain as it makes its way towards us. This high pressure, which is building back towards us, should thin out whatever rain that tries to come our way. So we'll catch some clouds, but I don't think we're going to catch anything as far as any rain. Looks pretty dry, and I just showed you our humidity right now, about 44% or so in the 40s. So not a lot of moisture to work with when we see a little disturbance go through. So we're not expecting, like I said, much in the way of any rain. A good portion of South Texas is covered in a lot of cloud cover, some high-level clouds, and we're seeing a few of those drift through southeast Texas here. Let's check the rest of the country, and really a pretty quiet day across the lower 48. Not much going on. Southeastern U.S. looks quiet. Northeastern U.S., not too bad. Maybe seeing a little bit of lake effect snow over towards maybe Buffalo, over towards western reaches of New York, as we see, like I said, a couple of snow flurries, snow squalls come in off the lake there. Looks like the Midwest looking pretty quiet, not much going on. Some clouds coming into the northern plains, but that's about it. Looks like California is pretty quiet, but there is some activity up into the Pacific Northwest. We're seeing another storm system start to approach with some scattered showers. Looks like maybe from Portland all the way up into Seattle, so a little wet through the Pacific Northwest, which is typical for this time of year. They typically see the storm systems come in over the winter time. As we look at our futurecast, showing temperatures climbing to around 50 at lunchtime. We're already starting to see that, and then we go up from there. We're expecting highs today pretty close to 60. We'll go upper 50s, 58, 59 around the triangle, maybe 57, 58 up towards the lakes area for today with those partly cloudy skies. Heading into this evening, temperatures will be dropping back into the 40s. We'll see 40s throughout the evening and even towards midnight, and then as we head towards tomorrow morning, I think we'll see a lot of 30s, middle to upper 30s across southeast Texas going into tomorrow morning with some partly cloudy skies. Maybe see a few 40s south of I-10 along the coast, but it's going to be a cold start tomorrow morning. We'll need to bundle up, make sure the little ones have on the coat again tomorrow morning if they're out there waiting for the bus. By tomorrow, once again, around lunchtime, we'll see temperatures in the lower 50s, and we're expecting highs, I think, warmer than this. Futurecast only showing those lower 50s through the afternoon because of more cloud cover. I think we will see a little bit more clouds tomorrow, but still I'm expecting highs to be a little warmer, actually, up to around 60 degrees as we get into your Tuesday, and maybe even warmer than that as we head towards, looks like Wednesday. We'll see highs in the middle to upper 60s right before a cold front goes through and cools us down for Thursday, and we'll show you all that in our 7-day forecast. Texas Point right now along the coast, east winds at 9, gusts to 13, water temperature there at about 66. Look for a light chop on the inland lakes and bays today. Northeasterly winds about 10 to 15 knots, seas about 2 feet. There's only one high tide, that's at 2:05, and only one low tide, that was earlier this morning. Our sun sets tonight right around 5:36. Forecast for today, partly cloudy. We'll see a little bit of a northeasterly wind at 3 to 8 through the afternoon. No rain, of course. And temperatures from, say, 57, 58 in the lakes, 58, 59 towards inland southeast Texas, and 59 and maybe a few 60s here around the triangle heading down towards the coast, places like Sabine Pass or maybe even LaBelle. As we head towards tonight, we'll see that same type of fluctuation in temperatures, a little warmer down towards the coast and then colder as we head up north. Some middle 30s up towards the lakes area, Burkeville, Jasper, Newton, 36, 37, 38, 39 on inland southeast Texas, and then as we head around the triangle here, some upper 30s, maybe a few lower 40s as well, especially down towards Port Arthur as you get, maybe over towards some water. Bridge City about 40, 42 Sabine Pass, Finette maybe about 41 going into, looks like your Tuesday morning. 61 as we get into tomorrow afternoon, then we jump to 67 on Wednesday. Still a chilly morning though at 45. We see a front come through the area on Wednesday. That drops us off into the 50s on Thursday. So a quick cool down. We have another front coming in late Friday. With that, we'll warm up ahead of it, 64. After a cold start at 37, we cool back down to 57 on Saturday. And then we see another warm up start as we head towards Sunday back to 62. So we're going to kind of ping pong between the 60s and 50s throughout the week, which is about typical for this time of year. Our normal high being about 63, our normal low being about 43. So we're going to be kind of jumping for either side of that. And you notice temperatures on Thursday morning gets a little cold again at 36, 37 on Friday, and then 34 on Sunday. So none of these temperatures are going to be below the freezing mark. So I think we'll be okay there. If you have any plants, you might want to just keep those inside this week. The mornings are going to be pretty chilly, if not cold. Pets as well, make sure they have a nice warm place to be. Of course, you don't have to worry anything about pipes or anything like that. We'll get cold, but not that cold. So the forecast just looking pretty dry as we go through the next 7 days. It's a little bit more sunshine maybe towards Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and some clouds kind of drifting